Hello friends, welcome to Prashant IAS. So friends, in the last class we were discussing about Rajya Sabha and in this class we will continue our discussion further. So friends, in this class we will continue our discussion with officers in Rajya Sabha. So friends, let us start our discussion with the first officer of Rajya Sabha. So the Vice President of India is the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. Now friends, first of all, what is the meaning of chairman? Okay, so what is the meaning of chairman? So chairman means that Vice President of India presides the proceedings of Rajya Sabha. Okay, so Vice President of India presides the proceedings of Rajya Sabha. Now what does it mean? So let's suppose friends, if the discussion on any ordinary bill is taking place in Rajya Sabha. Okay, so now we know that the powers of Rajya Sabha regarding ordinary bill is equivalent to the powers of Lok Sabha. Or in other words, we can also say that Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha have equal powers in the matter of ordinary bill. So let's suppose friends that there is one ordinary bill. Okay, and the discussion is going on in Rajya Sabha regarding that ordinary bill. Okay, so who will preside that discussion? Who will chair that discussion? So the Vice President of India will preside that discussion or he will chair that discussion. Okay, now let's suppose after discussion the voting is to be conducted on that bill. Okay, the voting is to be conducted on that bill. Then friends, who will conduct that voting? Okay, who will conduct that voting? Who will organize that voting? Or in other words, we can say that who will preside over the proceedings of Rajya Sabha? Okay, who will preside over the proceedings of Rajya Sabha? So it is the Vice President of India who presides over the proceedings of Rajya Sabha. Or in other words, we can also say that Vice President of India chairs the meetings of Rajya Sabha. Okay, so let's suppose if voting is to be conducted in Rajya Sabha on any ordinary bill, then who will get the voting conducted? Or in other words, we can also say that who will organize that voting? So in simple words, you can say that Vice President of India will organize the voting. Okay, so who is Vice President of India? Vice President of India is the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. Okay, so Vice President of India is the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. Now what is the meaning of chairman? So chairman means that this person chairs the meetings of Rajya Sabha. This person presides over the proceedings of Rajya Sabha. Okay, or friends, if now you are not getting what is the meaning of chairman, then in simple words you can also say that he is the boss of Rajya Sabha. Okay, so even if you are not getting that what is the meaning of chairman, okay, then you can just think that he just acts like the boss of Rajya Sabha. Okay, so Vice President of India acts like the boss of Rajya Sabha. Now friends, boss is a very layman word. Okay, so in your exams you have to use the word chairman. Okay, so chairman is the proper word. Now friends, what is the meaning of this ex officio? Okay, so what is the meaning of ex officio? So ex officio means because you are this, you are that. Okay, so what is the meaning of ex officio? So ex officio means that because someone is this, okay, because someone is this, so someone is that. Now what does it mean? It means that because you are the Vice President of India, so you are also the chairman of Rajya Sabha. Or in other words, you can also say that only Vice President of India can become the chairman of Rajya Sabha. Okay, so ex officio means because the person is holding the post of Vice President. Ex officio means that because the person is holding the post of Vice President, that is why the person will also be act as the chairman of Rajya Sabha. Okay, so what is the meaning of ex officio? Ex officio means because someone is this, that's why someone is that. Okay, so for example, if the person is holding the post of Vice President of India, then he will also act as the chairman of Rajya Sabha. So who is the first officer of Rajya Sabha? So the Vice President of India is the first officer of Rajya Sabha. Vice President of India is the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. Now friends, I have told you that the chairman of Rajya Sabha presides over the proceedings of Rajya Sabha. or he presides over the meetings of Rajya Sabha. So we can say that the chairman of Rajya Sabha means vice president is the presiding officer of the Rajya Sabha. Okay, so chairman Rajya Sabha is the presiding officer of Rajya Sabha. And why chairman is the presiding officer of Rajya Sabha? So chairman is the presiding officer of Rajya Sabha because chairman presides over the meetings of or the proceedings of Rajya Sabha. Okay, or in other words, we can say that presiding officer means a kind of boss. Okay, so he's presiding officer. So presiding officer means a kind of boss. Okay, so boss is a very layman word, so we will not use this word here. You just understand that the chairman of Rajya Sabha is the presiding officer of Rajya Sabha because chairman presides over the meetings of Rajya Sabha. Now friends, let's suppose there is some ordinary bill. Okay, let's suppose there is some ordinary bill. Now friends, I have told you in the class of majority that which majority is needed for passing any ordinary bill. So you will say that, sir, simple majority is needed for the passage of ordinary bill. And what is the meaning of simple majority? So simple majority means more than 50% of the members present and voting. Okay, so what is simple majority? So simple majority is more than 50% of the members present and voting. Now friends, we know that what is the membership of Rajya Sabha? So 245 is the membership of Rajya Sabha. Okay. Now let's suppose that on a given day 5 members are absent. Okay, so 5 members are absent. So if 5 members are absent, then how many members are present? So definitely 240 members are present. Now friends, let's suppose that out of these 240 members, 20 members decided that they will not cast their votes. So finally, how many members casted their vote? So only 220 members casted their vote. So this 220 will be called as present and voting in Rajya Sabha. Now friends, for the passing of any ordinary bill, okay, what number do we need? Okay, so we need more than 50% of present and voting, and present and voting is 220. So what is 50% of present and voting? So 50% of 220. So what is the 50% of 220? So it is 110. Okay, so what is this? It is 110, and we need a number which is more than 110. Okay, so we need a number which is more than 110. So what is that number? So that number is 111. So if that bill is passed by 111 members, okay, if that bill is passed by at least 111 members, then that bill will be passed in Lok Sabha. Okay. Now friends, let's suppose that what happened. Okay, so we will imagine 3 conditions. Okay, so let's suppose the first condition. What is first condition? That 111 members are in the support of bill. So how many are remaining? So definitely 109 are remaining. So definitely you will say that, sir, 109 members are opposing the bill. Okay, and definitely if 111 members are supporting the bill, so bill will be passed. Now what is second condition? The second condition is that in this condition, let's suppose that now 111 members are opposing the bill. Okay, and on the other hand 109 members are only supporting the bill. So in this case, what will happen? That in this case bill will not be passed, bill will be lapsed. Okay, so bill will not be passed in this condition. But friends, okay, so there is no problem in both of these conditions, but there is problem in the third condition. What is that third condition? Let's suppose, okay, so this is supporting and this is opposing. So let's suppose that 110 members are in the support of bill and 110 members are in the opposing. Okay, 110 members are opposing the bill. So what will happen in this condition? Why? Because equivalent number of members are supporting as well as opposing the bill. Now friends, what happens? That in the first condition, so it is clearly decided that the bill will clearly be passed. Okay, so what will happen? That presiding officer means chairman means vice president will not cast his vote. Okay, so in this condition, vice president will not cast his vote. Why? Because clearly it is decided that bill is passed. Now friends, in the second condition, you can see that clearly it is decided that bill is not passed. Okay, because it has not got the required amount of majority. So in this condition also, it is clearly decided that bill will not get passed. Bill is not passed. So in this condition also, presiding officer will not cast his vote. Okay, so presiding officer will not cast his vote. Now friends, But the problem is in third condition, because the equal number of members are supporting as well as opposing the bill. So what will happen in this condition? That in this condition, presiding officer will get the right to give the vote. Okay, so what does it mean? So it means that if there is any tie in the house, tie means 50-50. Okay, so same number of members are supporting and same number of members are opposing anything. Okay, so if there is any tie in the house, then presiding officer gets the right to give casting vote. Okay, so presiding officer gets the right to give the casting vote. Now friends, let's suppose if in this condition presiding officer gives his vote in the support of bill, then what will happen? That definitely bill will be passed. Okay, but if presiding officer gives his vote in the oppose of the bill, okay, then what will happen? That bill will be lapsed, then bill is not passed. Okay, so what happens that if there is any tie? Okay, so what I want to explain you, that in normal circumstances, or we can also say that in first instance, okay, so in first instance presiding officer does not cast his vote. Okay, so when voting takes place in Rajya Sabha, on anything, when voting takes place in Rajya Sabha, then presiding officer does not cast his vote in the first instance. Okay, but if there is any tie, okay, tie means 50-50, the same number of members are supporting and opposing a bill, then what happens? That presiding officer has the right to give casting vote, and then presiding officer can decide that what will happen. So his vote will decide that what will happen. So this is the power of presiding officer. Now friends, the second officer of Rajya Sabha is Deputy Chairman Rajya Sabha. Now friends, I have already told you that Vice President of India becomes the Chairman of Rajya Sabha. But now we have another question. Now our question is that who becomes the Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha? So friends, now you all know that there are total 245 members in Rajya Sabha. Okay, so let's suppose these all are the members of Rajya Sabha. Okay, so there are total 245 members in Rajya Sabha. Okay, so these all are the members of Rajya Sabha. Okay, and etc. Now friends, the Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha is elected from the members of Rajya Sabha. Okay, so Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha is elected from amongst the members of Rajya Sabha. Means now any of these member will become Deputy Chairman. And who will elect? So the members of House will elect. Okay, so who will elect the Deputy Chairman? So the members of House will elect the Deputy Chairman. Okay, so the first question is that who becomes the Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha? So the answer to this question is that one of the member of Rajya Sabha, so there are total 245 members in Rajya Sabha, so one of the members of Rajya Sabha becomes the Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha. So these many are the members of Rajya Sabha, and from all these members, one member will be elected as the Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha. So from amongst the membership of Rajya Sabha, one member will be elected as the Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Now the second question is that who will elect Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha? Who will give vote in the election of Deputy Chairman Rajya Sabha? So the members of Rajya Sabha. Okay, so the members of Rajya Sabha will give their vote or will elect the Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Okay, so who becomes the member of Rajya Sabha? So one of the member of Rajya Sabha becomes the member of Rajya Sabha. Then the second question is who elects the member of Rajya Sabha? So so the Deputy Chairman Rajya Sabha is elected by the members of Rajya Sabha. Okay, so we can say that Deputy Chairman Rajya Sabha is elected by the House. House means Rajya Sabha. From amongst the members of House. Okay, so Deputy Chairman Rajya Sabha is elected by the Rajya Sabha from amongst the members of House. Okay, so once again I am repeating. So who becomes the Deputy Chairman Rajya Sabha? So one of the member of Rajya Sabha becomes the Deputy Chairman Rajya Sabha. And who elects the member of Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha? So the members of Rajya Sabha. Okay, so these all members of Rajya Sabha will elect the Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Now friends, what is the function of Deputy Chairman Rajya Sabha? So now our next question is that what are the functions of Deputy Chairman Rajya Sabha? So friends, let's suppose that if the Chairman Rajya Sabha, okay, so who is Chairman Rajya Sabha? Chairman Rajya Sabha is Vice President. Okay, so let's suppose that the Chairman Rajya Sabha is not available. Okay, chairman Rajya Sabha is not available to preside over the meetings of Rajya Sabha. Okay, now there can be many reasons. Okay, for example, he may be absent from his office. Okay, now there can be many reasons for his absency. For example, it is a possibility that he is on holiday. Okay, it is also a possibility that he is sick. Okay, so because of many number of reasons, there can be absency in the office of chairman Rajya Sabha. Okay, the second reason may be that the office of the Vice President of India is vacant. Okay, the office of the Vice President of India is vacant. Now, how the office of Vice President of India will become vacant? So, for example, let's suppose if the Vice President of India is removed by, if Vice President of India is removed by the Parliament. Okay, so if Vice President of India is removed by Parliament, then there can be a vacancy in the office of Chairman Rajya Sabha. Then let's suppose that the second reason may be death. Okay, means if the person holding the office of Vice President of India dies, then also there will be vacancy in the office of Deputy Chairman Chairman Rajya Sabha. The third reason may be resignation. Okay, means the person holding the office of Vice President of India, now he no more want to serve as the Vice President of India, and definitely as Vice President of India is the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. So if the Vice President of India will resign, so definitely the post of the chairman of Rajya Sabha will become vacant. Okay, so there can be many reasons. The first reason may be that if the chairman of Rajya Sabha is absent from his office. The second reason may be that the post of the chairman of Rajya Sabha is vacant. Now friends, if the chairman of Rajya Sabha is not available due to any reason, then the question is, then who will preside over the proceedings of Rajya Sabha? Who will act as the presiding officer of Rajya Sabha? Okay, so the answer to this question is Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Okay, so what is the function of Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha? So if the Chairman of Rajya Sabha is not available due to any reason, then the Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha presides over the meetings, presides over the proceedings of Rajya Sabha. Okay, and then Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha acts as the presiding officer of Rajya Sabha. Now friends, let's suppose that the person holding the office of Deputy Chairman Rajya Sabha, okay, means the Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha now no more want to give his services as the Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Okay, means the person holding the office of Deputy Chairman Rajya Sabha, now he no more wants to serve as the Deputy Chairman Rajya Sabha. Okay, or in simple words, if the Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha wants to resign from his post, okay, if the Deputy Chairman Rajya Sabha wants to resign from his post, then the Deputy Chairman Rajya Sabha will hand over his resignation to the Chairman of Rajya Sabha. And who is the Chairman of Rajya Sabha? So the Vice President of India is the Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Okay, so are you getting what I am saying? So I am just saying that if Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha wants to resign from his post, then he will have to hand over his resignation to the Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Now friends, let's suppose that if the Chairman of Rajya Sabha wants to resign from his post. Chairman of Rajya Sabha means the Vice President of India. So if the Chairman of Rajya Sabha wants to resign from his post, then he will hand over his resignation to the President of India. Okay, so if the Chairman of Rajya Sabha wants to resign, then he has to hand over his resignation to the President of India. Now friends, I have told you that generally what happens, that the Chairman of Rajya Sabha presides over the proceedings of Rajya Sabha, and in case Chairman is not available, then what happens, that Deputy Chairman Rajya Sabha acts as the presiding officer of Rajya Sabha. Now friends, let us suppose a condition that if Chairman is absent, okay, so Chairman is absent from his office, okay, and Deputy Chairman is also absent from his office, okay, so they can be absent from his office due to n number of reasons. For example, due to sickness, okay, due to holiday, or any other reason. Okay, so let us just suppose that now both of these officers are absent from his office. Then our question is that then who will preside over the proceedings of Rajya Sabha? So now friends, what will happen, that in this case all the members of Rajya Sabha, okay, what will happen, that the members of Rajya Sabha, what will happen, that the members of Rajya Sabha will choose one of the member to act as the presiding officer of Rajya Sabha. Now, what does it mean? So, let us suppose, friends, that they all are the members of Rajya Sabha. Okay. So, these all the lines which I am drawing on the screen. So, let us suppose that these all are the members of Rajya Sabha. Now, chairman is absent, deputy chairman is absent. Okay. So, they need someone to preside over the session of Rajya Sabha. So, what these members will do, that they will choose one of the members from within the membership of Rajya Sabha. Okay. So what all members will do, that all the members will choose one of the member to act as the presiding officer of the house. Then this member will act as the presiding officer of Rajya Sabha. Now friends, let us imagine another condition. Okay. So currently we are discussing about the absency. Now let's suppose that the office of chairman is vacant. Okay. Office of chairman is vacant, means there is a vacancy in the office of chairman of Rajya Sabha. Means the vice president of, there is a vacancy in the office of vice president of India. Similarly, the office of deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha is also vacant. Okay. Now I have told you that there is a difference between absency and vacancy. So absency is temporary, means currently he is not available, but later on he will join his post. And vacancy means permanently he is removed from his post. And vacancy can be due to many reasons. For example, if the person is dead, okay, if the person dies, then the office will become vacant. Similarly, if the person is removed from his post, okay, and similarly if the person resigns from his post. Okay, so the vacancy can be due to 3 reasons. Now friends, let's suppose that if there is a vacancy in the office of chairman as well as deputy chairman, then what will happen, that the president of India, okay, what will happen, that the president of India will appoint one of the members of Rajya Sabha to act as the presiding officer. So let's suppose that these all are the members of Rajya Sabha. Okay, so these all are the members of Rajya Sabha. Now there is a vacancy in the office of chairman as well as deputy chairman. So what will happen, that president will choose one of the member and president will appoint him to act as the presiding officer of Rajya Sabha. Now friends, I have told you that the chairman of Rajya Sabha presides over the meetings, presides over the proceedings or the sessions of Rajya Sabha. Now let's suppose that a meeting of Rajya Sabha is conducted or a session of Rajya Sabha is conducted for the removal of the chairman of Rajya Sabha. Okay, so let us suppose that a session of Rajya Sabha is conducted for the removal of chairman. Now in this condition, the chairman of Rajya Sabha has no right to preside over that session of Rajya Sabha. Okay, then the chairman of Rajya Sabha will not act as the presiding officer of the house. Then the chairman of Rajya Sabha will not act as the presiding officer of the house for that session. Okay, now friends, let's suppose that let's suppose that a session of Rajya Sabha is conducted for the removal of deputy chairman. Okay, so let us suppose that a session of Rajya Sabha is conducted for the removal of deputy chairman. So now the deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha cannot preside over that session. Okay, so now deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha cannot act as the presiding officer of that session. Or in other words, friends, we can also say that chairman or deputy chairman Rajya Sabha cannot preside the session being held for their respective removal. Means if a session is conducted for the removal of chairman, then chairman has no right to preside that session. Similarly, if a session is conducted for the removal of deputy chairman, then deputy chairman cannot preside over that session. Okay, now friends, I have told you in the beginning of the lecture that the chairman of Rajya Sabha does not cast his vote in the first instance. Okay, so what happens? That chairman of Rajya Sabha does not cast his vote in the first instance. First instance means in general circumstances. What happens, that if there is any tie, okay, if there is any tie, then chairman gets the right to give the casting vote. But what happens, that if a session is conducted for the removal of the chairman of Rajya Sabha, okay, and now let's suppose the voting is being done for the removal of chairman. So now chairman has no right to give vote during his own removal. Okay, so chairman cannot give his vote either in first instance or either in the case of tie. Okay, so what I want to say what I want to say, that the chairman of Rajya Sabha cannot cast his vote. Chairman of Rajya Sabha cannot cast his vote at all during his own removal process. The chairman of Rajya Sabha cannot cast his vote, has no voting right during his own removal process. Now friends, what is this case? Okay, so if we talk of deputy chairman, then what is the condition with regard of deputy chairman? So let's suppose a session is conducted in Rajya Sabha for the removal of deputy chairman. Okay, now friends, the deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha has the right to cast vote in the first instance only. Okay, so what happens that the deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha can in the first instance only. Okay, so the deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha can cast his vote during his own removal process. Listen to my words carefully. Deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha can cast his vote during his own removal process, but only in the first instance. Okay, but let's suppose if there is any tie. Okay, so there is a case of 50-50. So if there is any tie, then deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha cannot cast his vote during tie. Then deputy chairman Rajya Sabha has no right to cast his vote during tie. Now friends, one thing you have to remember, that the Rajya Sabha has been created by the Constitution of India on the basis of the principle of equality of houses. Okay, so Rajya Sabha has been created by the Constitution of India on the basis of the principle of equality of houses. Now what does it mean? So it means that Rajya Sabha is not the secondary house of Union Legislature. Rajya Sabha is not the secondary house of Union Legislature. Now what does it mean? So it means that the importance of Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha is equivalent in the Union Legislature. Okay, so Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha are equally important in the Union Legislature. So you cannot say that Rajya Sabha is inferior to Lok Sabha. Okay, because many a times you must have listened the people saying that Rajya Sabha is inferior to Lok Sabha. But if we talk of the Constitution of India, then according to the Constitution of India, Rajya Sabha has been created according to the principle of equality of houses. Okay, so according to Constitution, the importance of Rajya Sabha is equal to the importance of Lok Sabha. Both the houses has equal importance. Both the houses have equal importance. Okay, so Constitution has given equal importance to both the houses. Neither Rajya Sabha is inferior to Lok Sabha, nor Lok Sabha is inferior to Rajya Sabha. Okay, so if now next time someone asks you that, okay, which house is more important, so both the houses are equally important. Rajya Sabha is also important and Lok Sabha is also important. Now friends, next thing which you have to remember is that Rajya Sabha can never be abolished. Now what is the meaning of this statement that Rajya Sabha can never be abolished? So what is the meaning of abolition? So abolition means ending something. So the meaning of abolition means end. Okay, now friends, let's suppose that okay, so I will give you an example so that you can understand it very easily. So let's suppose there is a glass of water. Okay, so this is a glass of water, and let us suppose, okay, so this is a glass of water. Now friends, let's suppose that this glass of water is one of the houses of parliament. Okay, so this glass represents one of the houses of parliament. Now definitely there is the water inside the glass. Okay, there is water inside the glass. Now this water represents the members of that house. Okay, so this water represents members of that house. Now friends, okay, so now friends, what is the meaning of dissolution? Means dissolving of house. Okay, so what is the meaning of dissolve and abolish? What is the difference between dissolving a house and abolishing a house? So friends, what is the meaning of dissolution, or what does I mean when I say that the house is dissolved? Okay, so what is the meaning of dissolution of a house? So now let's suppose if you put this glass like this. Okay, so if you put this glass like this, then what will happen? That the entire water will come out of the glass, or in other words you can also say that the entire water is thrown out of glass. So what will happen? That the glass will become empty. Okay, so now the glass will become empty. So this condition is very similar to the condition of the dissolution of house. So dissolving a house means throwing all the members of house out of the house. Okay, throwing all the members of house out of the house, so that house becomes vacant. Okay, so what happens? The house become vacant. So this is the meaning of dissolution. Now friends, if we talk of Rajya Sabha, then Rajya Sabha is never dissolved. Okay, so you have to remember that Rajya Sabha is never dissolved. Okay, and Lok Sabha is dissolved after every 5 years. So Lok Sabha is dissolved after every 5 years. Okay, so I will tell you the procedure of dissolution of Lok Sabha when I will take the lecture of Lok Sabha. Okay, so till the time being, you just understand that Lok Sabha is dissolved after every 5 years, but Rajya Sabha is never dissolved. Okay, means all the members of Rajya Sabha are not thrown out of Rajya Sabha together. All the members of Rajya Sabha are not thrown out of Rajya Sabha together. And what is the system? The system is that every second year, what happens? Every second year, 1/3 of the members take retirement. Okay, and what happens? That the fresh elections are conducted for these 1/3 members, and the new 1/3 members enters in the house. So what happens? That the house is never dissolved. Okay. Now what is the meaning of abolition? What is the meaning of abolition? So friends, abolition means, okay, so this is glass. Okay, so this is one of the House of Parliament, and this water inside the glass is members. Now friends, let's suppose the entire glass. Okay, so what is this? What is this black color? So this black color is the material which made the glass. This red color is this black color is the material which has made the glass. So now let's suppose this is floor. Okay, this is a ground floor, and this is glass. Okay, this is glass, and let's suppose, friend, this is a building. Okay, now let's suppose there is a person, and this person is standing on the top of this building, and this building is, let's suppose, 10-storied building. Okay, so this building is, let's suppose, 10-storied building. Now friends, let's suppose that this person dropped this glass from the top of the building, and this glass is so what will happen to this glass? So definitely when this glass will hit the ground, so this glass will be broken. Okay, so what will happen? That this glass will be broken, or we can say that the glass is no more in existence. We can say that the glass has come to an end. So abolition of the house means when the house is broken, when the existence of the house is ended, when the existence of the house comes to an end. Okay, so friends, Rajya Sabha is also never abolished. Okay, so Rajya Sabha is never abolished. So you have to remember this, that Rajya Sabha is never dissolved and Rajya Sabha is never abolished. So abolition of the house means ending the existence of the house. Okay. So friends, that's all for today. I hope that you all must have enjoyed the lecture. And if you have enjoyed the lecture, then please like the video, comment, share the video, subscribe this channel, press the bell icon and select all. And friends, share this channel to all the people you know who are preparing for UPSC. So friends, now we will meet in next class. Till then, take care of yourself. Thank you.